I don't think the folks out there have any idea how bad things are. And they're not just bad today, they're bad because we have trapped ourselves in a fiscal policy for which there is no exit.
In really simplistic terms, what we've done is we've said you have a pie. The pie has got to be of a fixed size. But within that pie, most of the pieces are mandated to grow and grow at a certain rate. You know, we've got a pretty good K-12 system. I don't think you need to get very far along that system before most kids would tell you, that's not going to work. You can't have most of the pieces of the pie growing and the pie staying the same size. Eventually, your system's going to break. Those two things cannot coexist. And higher ed is the single largest piece of the state's budget pie that is not mandated to grow.
It's worked. It's worked very well. Residential property taxes in Colorado are amongst the lowest in the country. The problem is severalfold. It set a balance between residential property tax and commercial property tax rates, that in order to maintain that balance, commercial property taxes is not enjoyed as much of a cut as residential property tax has, so it's been a challenge for some businesses. And there's an equity issue there, but more importantly, from our perspective and from a revenue perspective, it's resulted in a slow decline in revenues for local government.
I mean, Mr. Bruce had this idea that he wanted to shrink government to the point where it would just basically provide very basic services for folks in Colorado, and everything else would be excluded from the state budget. And he passed an initiative. It was a citizens initiative that was consisted of just numerous things, but one of the things was that state government, the spending on state government could not grow more than the rate of inflation plus population growth in a given year.
By inescapable politics, as in corrections, or by constitutional measures, well, what are you going to do? Well, there are two areas that aren't protected. Transportation is not protected, higher ed is not protected. So this didn't happen overnight, it's happened incrementally, and hence your tuition goes up and up and up and up.
I've spent a lot of my career in higher ed, and I've written a lot of test questions over that time. And the one thing I know is that if everybody in the class, and they're all smart people, and they all want to do well, if everybody misses the test question, that's probably on me. And that's what I think we as voters have done. We have written a really bad test question for our elected officials, and they have no good answer out there.
You got 5-year-old kids, do you want colleges and universities for them when they get out of high school? Because if you don't do something, they're not going to be here.